The death toll in Maui continues to rise as the island tries to recover from last week's devastating fires. Lenny is a world-class pro surfer from Maui with 8 world championships under his belt. But this week he stopped competing to help his community. His actions in his hometown are saving lives, and we are lucky to have him with us today. Please welcome to DBL. It is our pleasure, Kai. Thank you so much, Kai.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm happy to be on and, try to share the truth with what's going on the ground.
Absolutely. Kai, I wanted to talk to you here. It's hard for a lot of mainlanders to understand what the island is really going through and what the side of Maui is really looking like right now. Can you paint us a picture, just in your own words, of what you're seeing?
Well, so it's really devastating. The fire obviously was horrific. It took out an entire town, the economic engine for tourism here on the island, and it displaced all the workforce for the hotels. And beyond that, people lost homes that have been in their family for 9 generations. And we thought that was going to be the worst of it, but there's still a huge fallout because there's only 2 roads that are out to the west side of Maui, and the neighboring towns that are north of Lahaina have been cut off completely. Ma'alai is being roadblocked. Only certain personnel are allowed through. We all understand that, the burn zone, there's an investigation going on. They need to keep it locked down. But a whole entire neighborhoods, towns are completely shut off. And, there's no internet connection. The power is spotty. And it feels like a third world country over there.
Wow.
Kai, you've expressed frustration with the government's response to these fires. What specifically are you frustrated about, in addition to what you've already shared with us?
The frustrations are that, they're talking about this great response. We've been there in 24 hours. But, you go down to all the donation hubs, you go down to where people are suffering, and specifically on the west side where they are cut off. And no one's come down to visit them. There hasn't been a state, a county, a federal official to be like, hey, what's going on? How can we serve the community? And right now, the biggest thing is security and distribution of donations. Basically, the entire local community of Maui has rallied together and have been the main source of these supply drops. For example, FEMA's supposedly here, Red Cross, I've heard they have 300 people on the ground. Not one person has been seen at any of these places. And, people are really annoyed and really frustrated. And we're asking, well, can you guys just come down and visit? You're watching the governor and the mayor do walks through the burn zone, and it's like they're speaking to the mainland, but they need to go to where the people are and speak to the people, because everyone's left in the dark. People probably won't even see, what's going on in the internet because it's completely shut off over there.
Kai, so you had to get creative to get supplies. How are the locals getting the help that they need if they're not getting it from the government?
So we've had to get creative. It's funny because you think, they'd be doing all the effort in the world in order to try to get supplies to the people. But since they have the roads blocked off and there's only 2 ways in, one way being a 1-lane road with no shoulder and 300-foot cliffs, we've opted to take jet skis and boats and load up as much supplies. And we've been asking the community exactly what they need. And we've been trying to fulfill that. And we're so grateful to all the other islands that have been providing supplies. People around the world, everyone wants to help. And it's just been really difficult to help because driving in would be the easiest, simplest way. But we're just really not allowed to.
Right. And Kai, listen, I just want people to know your heart. You single-handedly, with additional people, brought insulin into Maui to people that needed it. Our viewers know everything about my brother-in-law, Eric. You were there to spread some of his ashes in Maui. You're an incredible human being. Listen, you walk the walk. I want you to tell our viewers, because a lot of our viewers, there is a debate whether or not tourists vacation in Maui, whether it be soon or in the near future, is a good thing, right? Does it help the economy? Are you hurting it? What do the locals want? Please tell us and why.
Well, right now, everyone wants people to take a break from visiting Maui. And it's understandable. There's a lot of grieving going on, and people feel offended when, family members and people are being pulled out of the water that have perished. And just down the beach, someone's snorkeling, enjoying their time. And I think it's just a really sensitive time. It's been a week since the incident, and it's just too soon. That being said, I think we're looking at a real economic problem here because the island is driven entirely by tourism. Prior to this, it was agriculture, and that could help kind of lift and carry the weight of the economy. But now that that is no longer a thing, it's really, really difficult for anyone to make it by. A lot of other towns on this island that are completely fine and aren't on the west side need the tourists to be coming through their local businesses. And the local businesses are the heart and soul of this island. And so when Lahaina did burn down, it was a real shock to the system because that was the most locally owned businesses in the entire island. And it was also the lifeblood of the economy. It was the engine. And so I think right now people should take a pause, but don't cancel your fall trips. You know, if you have a trip planned in November, you know, the rest of the island will be up and running, and we don't want to have an even more of a disaster with the economic fallout. But I understand the west side of Maui is going to be shut down for a very long time, and I wouldn't plan on going out there.
Got it. Kai, thank you so much. We appreciate you, your advocacy, and to our viewers out there. You can scan this QR code right here on your screen. It will take you directly to a list of families in Maui, so you actually can read their stories and donate. They can get the help right away. Kai, thank you so much for joining us today. We love you. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you for spreading the word. Aloha.